guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, January 18th. And we're talking about the Pascal Siakam trade. The pod we released this morning. We recorded the bulk of the episode before the trade happened, so we didn't get a chance to share our thoughts. We talked about the speculation of a trade, but now that the trade is official and Siakam is on the Pacers, we thought we'd come here, give our thoughts, and discuss how it potentially could affect the Celtics, including potentially some playoff ramifications. Could change around first-round matchups. That clump in the Eastern Conference of the Knicks, Pacers, Sixers, and or Knicks, Pacers, what is it? Magic, Cavs, Heat, like one of those teams is probably going to play the Celtics in the second round of the playoffs. And so this is going to matter by the time the Celtics, knock on wood, hopefully get there. But we'll have to see how that shakes out. The full trade, let me see if I can pull up full trade details. But Pascal Siakam is joining the Pacers. Bruce Brown heading to the Toronto Raptors, in addition to Jordan Nwora and Kira Lewis, who is coming from the Pelicans. Pelicans traded what I assume is going to be, protected second-round pick to the Pacers to facilitate that deal so they could get off Kira Lewis's contract and save some money because he hasn't been playing for them. And then the Raptors also got 2024 first, 2026 first, and a 2024 first. That is the worst of Utah, Houston, LA Clippers, OKC pick. That's the third pick they got from Indy, but the other two are just Indy's picks in general. So that's the trade. Pacers get another all-star who reportedly is very open to the idea of re-signing with the Pacers this summer, despite recent reports.
He's over the moon.
Hit free agency. And yeah, that's the deal.
So I think it's an interesting fit. Siakam will have a good amount of opportunity to create a little bit lower, work on the baseline, work in the low post. Like, it's obviously not a massive body, but he's okay with his back to the basket. Has a super cool spin move as well. So those are all options that he adds to a Pacers team that might not have that. Like, there are a lot of Halliburton, a lot of dishing, a lot of shooting. They don't have much of an inside the arc presence unless they're on the drive. I think he allows them to slow the game down a bit more, similar to the way we've seen the Celtics pick that up this year, and it's made them so much more dangerous, where somebody like Porzingis is an option, or Tatum has become a post-up option, and Indiana could just get so much better from that. Not to mention that Siakam has made all defense before too. Am I mistaken? Did I get him mixed up with OG? He's made all defense, I think.
I don't think Siakam has made all defense. He's made all NBA.
Terrible.
Yeah, he made Siakam's two-time All-NBA, but he hasn't made all defense. Yeah, that's
okay,
OG.
My bad. I must have did OG this summer.
Yeah,
researched it.
Yeah, OG
Shame
made all
on
defense.
me. But still, he's still like quality. He's not a bum. He's not a cone. He's not John.
He's a good
Collins.
defender.
Yeah. He gives them a little bit on that front too, which is something they need. I mean, right now they're just giving up points like it's nobody's business. They lose games because of it. And they're a team that's already beaten up on the Celtics a couple times this year. Like, it's not ideal. It's not where you wanted them to go. The Celtics have 9 losses this year. So over 25% of their losses, or just under 25%, to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Not the best. Not my favorite thing. Also, extra wrinkle, and you can, if you have more thoughts on the Pacers themselves, go for it. But does this being finalized today have the Bruce Brown wrinkle where he's going to be there now, or does that mean they can still turn him around? I don't know.
I am unsure exactly of how it works, so I don't want to talk, but I do think what it is now is he can't be packaged with anybody else in a trade. So I think he can still get traded by himself, but he can't be combined with other salaries. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works, because I think that's what happened a couple years ago with Pat Bev when he was traded to, I think it was the Jazz, and then he was traded by himself for Talon Horton-Tucker after just being traded like the week prior, even though the deal was fine. So I think Bruce Brown can still be traded. I could be very wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I think that makes sense, because the reason why that rule was in my head was obviously the amount of talk we did this year on the TPE and using it to build salary to put into trades. And it doesn't have any other purpose other than that for the Celtics. But if you look at a team like Toronto with that $22 million salary they can trade, changes things a bit. You can get players back. You don't have to combine him with anybody to get a package in return. Not that Toronto's necessarily trying to trade for any big ticket names anyways, but that's just an extra piece of the puzzle there.
Yeah, so unsure about that part. But the Raptors get him, Jordan Nwora, Kira Lewis, and 3 picks, actually. Pacers get Siakam. I think it's a good fit for Indiana. I think they get probably the best individual defender on the roster now in Siakam because they don't really have much. Like they have okay. Let me rephrase. They have okay individual defenders in like Aaron Nesmith's a good defender. Miles Turner's a solid rim protector, though he's gets blown by a lot and powered through a bit too much. I think this definitely helps their defensive structure because you can roll out a lineup of, let's say, Tyrese Halliburton, Aaron Nesmith, Ben Mathurin, Siakam, and Turner. The point I saw on Twitter from, I think it was Caitlin Clark. Sorry, not Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Cooper. I mix those two up all the time. Caitlin Cooper was like, I can't believe the Pacers got Siakam without giving up Nembhard, Jarris Walker, or Ben Mathurin. Like they kept their 3 best young prospects and got a 2-time All-NBA player without giving them up. And yes, they gave up 2 of their own first-round picks, but they still have picks they can trade. I think Siakam's a good fit. I think all the things you mentioned of them having a sort of interior presence is important. I also think his individual shot creation takes a ton of pressure off of Halliburton because they didn't have anybody else on that roster who could really create their own shot like that. Like Ben Mathurin is the closest thing, and he's still a second-year player. It's not fully there.
He's quality, to his credit.
Ben Mathurin's fine, but he's not the level of shot creator as Siakam is at this point in their respective careers. Pascal Siakam, also an underrated facilitator. He averages 5 assists, roughly 4.9 at that power forward spot. So he'll be another guy that they can run through, which again takes the offensive pressure off of Halliburton. I think even more intriguing though, and I don't think they'll necessarily go this direction. The Pacers still have room to make another like big trade if they wanted to. Like they still have Buddy Hield's salary, they still have Jarris Walker's salary, they still have TJ McConnell's salary. If they wanted to go out and get Zach LaVine, I'm not saying it's a good fit, but like they could roll out a lineup of Tyrese Halliburton, Zach LaVine, Aaron Nesmith, Siakam, and Miles Turner. And I know you're not big on Zach LaVine. That fit sounds pretty good to me. Like they still have room to go out and get another guy if they wanted.
The NFL season is wrapping up, and there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Now, the app is so easy to use, and there are so many different ways to bet, like live same-game parlays, find bets in the new Explore tab, make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
I wrote about it for 8 points, 9 seconds. Like, I know the DeJounte Murray fit hasn't really worked with Trae Young, but like if they wanted to, like they could go out and try to make something happen, right? It didn't work with Trae Young because Trae Young's never played off the ball. Guess what? Tyrese Halliburton has played off the ball. He had to play off the ball in Sacramento because De'Aaron Fox had the ball in his hand. So like, if all I'm saying is like Lauri Markkanen, if they wanted to overpay, go get, like they have room to make more moves past like this season or past this season. They're going to be a good team. How it affects the NBA standings and potentially, like I was talking to a couple buddies about it, and they're like, you know, the Pacers are going to be good now. It's kind of nasty. I was like, yes, they're good. I still don't think they're better than the Bucks, the Bucks, Sixers, or Knicks or Heat, though. I still think those 4 teams rank above them. I think the Knicks are the closest one. That's the one I got the most pushback on. My argument was I think the Pacers probably have more on paper talent than the Pacers, but I think the Knicks are better built. Or sorry, the Pacers have more on paper talent than the Knicks in terms of their stars, but I think the Knicks are better built for the playoffs in terms of a quality defense and mindset in that way. So, because realistically, the Pacers still don't have a good answer, not one that we've seen. We'll give them a chance to, in the playoffs, Halliburton is going to get played out of the game on defense, right? From what we saw in that Celtics game when Jaylen Brown literally just went through his chest time after time after time. Like that's going to happen in every game in the playoffs. So I think the Knicks are better built. And then, I mean, I think the Sixers, Bucks, Heat kind of speak for themselves. Like those are proven playoff teams in terms of getting to the second round at the very least. And I just think they have better.
Be careful there.
I just think they're better than the Pacers in general. So,
no, I think that's fair. I think
Yeah.
Indiana has become a bit more of a threat, though, in
Yeah.
specifically to the Celtics. They do have a bit more size now to contend with what Boston can trot out there at times. Just looking back at some of the games they played against the Celtics this year, I mean, it's 2-2. There was the one game where Halliburton didn't play. There was the other game where he didn't play the second half. The game where he didn't play, Celtics swamped him. There was not even a doubt in that one. In the second game, for whatever reason, the Pacers were better, and they got fired up when he got hurt. So they can for sure already have a decent squad out there with him resting on the bench. But now it gives them an option similar to what the Celtics do, where Tatum's out, Brown's in, he's leading things. He's making sure things are going smoothly. You can kind of have that with Siakam, the way you said he has that playmaking, facilitating ability to set up his teammates, draw the defense, be the focal point, and do okay with it. He's had practice in Toronto for the last couple seasons, and they haven't been great, but they've still been hanging around. They've been in the play-in. They've been around the playoffs. They were in the playoffs 2 seasons ago when they went to the second round, I believe, against Philly. Or no, they lost the first round. It was 4-5, I think.
Who? The Raptors?
Raptors when they lost to Philly.
Yeah.
But they've been somewhat competitive with him being a major focal point. So this is really good for Indiana. And to your other point about, what happens now, are there dominoes? If I'm the Pacers, you have a couple weeks at least before the trade deadline. That's not bad. You have a little bit, what do we have? What do we need? They can go out, make tweaks. They can decide, do we really want to go all in this season? If I'm them, the answer is no. Because like you said, you ripped off like 4, 5, 6 teams you feel are better than them right now. So is that one move you're going to make and mortgage your future on going to leapfrog all 6? Probably not. You might as well hang out. You've got these young guys in the chamber that you don't have to give up right now. Jarris Walker, Mathurin, Neesmith, all these guys that still have potential and are not the best versions of themselves yet. You can just sit on that, let them continue to get better, and just set yourself up for years and years. So from a Celtics perspective, annoying for longevity.
Sure.
And even this season, it's not the greatest.
I agree. Listen, I think, knock on wood, a lot of season left. Nothing is set in stone. I think it's more important for the Celtics to get the 1 seed this year than it has been in years past. I don't think it'll matter.
Lost at home, of course.
Sure. I think best team, like they should win regardless of the seed. I think they are the best team in the NBA right now. So like even if they get the 2nd seed and have to play Philly in the 2nd round, right? They play well against Philly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the talent drop off between Bucks, Sixers versus everyone else in the East is, I would argue, pretty stark, right? Regardless of playoff history. Indiana in that mix with Cleveland, New York, Miami, Orlando. Celtics are going to probably end up playing one of those teams in the 8 seed, which is crazy that one of those teams is going to be the 8 seed because those all sound like 4 or 5 seeds. If you ask me, like the East is very talented. The NBA is very talented this year. So we'll see how it plays out. I like the fit for Indiana. I think it'll be good for them. Any final thoughts though? I think we covered it.
I think we did a good job. Again, not the greatest for the Celtics. Kind of annoying as you go on, but
East gets better.
I'm sick of these teams getting better. At least it wasn't exactly a free guy, Bruce Brown's quality.
At least the Raptors
for
got
those
worse.
Of you wondering, the Celtics cannot get him, so stop posting about it. They can't. No matter what. If he gets bought out, can't. Makes too much money. But yeah. Celtics still the best team in the conference, but just another team to put up with now.
At least it was at the expense of another East team. I know the Raptors aren't a threat, but at least it wasn't a West player coming into the East. You know what I'm saying? At least they stayed out there. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Let us know about what you think. Let us know your thoughts on the Siakam trade in the comments. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We appreciate it, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for watching. Like Jack said, leave us some comments on the YouTube channel. Let us know your think. You can also leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our
Wait. Did you just copied me? You just said let us know your think.
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
Oh, I just
you get these videos, talking C's, full-length pods, game recaps, film breakdowns. We got it all. Spotify, Apple, you can follow us, get the full-length pods and game recaps there as well. Leave a 5-star review, say something nice. You can also find us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. It's a great way to get involved. We read the emails each pod, and it's a lot of fun. You can also find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's just the name of the pod. You can find the pregame streams there as well as YouTube and also on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. It's for us. Bye.
Tackle. Come on.
Tackle.